And final rule, make sure we keep our face coverings on, covering your face and your nose for the duration of the journey. Well, with all of that being said, we are entering into the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Safari here in the Little Ituri Forest. Right off the bat, if you look over to the right, you see an okapi, kind of between those two bamboo groves. You'll see, kind of see that zebra-like pattern that it has on its legs. That does lead many people to believe that okapis and zebras are related, but that is not true. The okapi is actually the only known relative to the giraffe. They have a very similar skull structure to a giraffe, and that's how they found out they are related. Also pretty cool if you saw one, because they are a very shy and elusive animal. So much so that Western civilizations did not believe that they existed until 1901. Let's see if there's anything here right now. I bet there is. This is a movement. Laying down there, crossing the water. That is a black rhino. Not the best view of a rhino, though. Now, at one point, well, even now, black rhinos were poached near to extinction, with their numbers reaching close to only 4,000 left in a whole herd of them up on the hills. Beautiful orange antelope here. If you look at their horns, you'll see they kind of lay flat and backwards. That helped them run through the forest without them getting tangled up. Oh, coming out of the bushes, look at that larger tan antelope back there. That is a greater kudu. There's a few more that were kind of hiding back behind the grass back there. See a few egrets along the bank of the river there. Besides those birds, I don't see anything else. Oh, if you left your dip, hippos can hold their breath underwater for up to 8 minutes before they need to come up for another breath of air. Those large birds you see hanging out on the island, those are pink-back pelicans. Now the pink coloring is going to be kind of on their back underneath their wings. And the pink coloring emerges during mating season. So that kind of lets the other pelicans in the group know if they're ready to mate. Down in the riverbed here to the left, there are some Nile crocodiles. All up on the banks there, a few of them down in the water. Now, Nile crocodiles can grow to 16 to 20 feet long, and they can weigh just under 1,000 pounds. And they have incredibly strong jaws. The jaws of those crocodiles have enough strength that they can easily crush bones when they bite. They do have the strongest bite force of any living animal on Earth. Here in just a moment. Right at the bottom of the hill there are some Hartman mountain zebras as well as some little springboks. Now I can tell that those are mountain zebras because they have what's called a dewlap on their neck, or a small fold of skin. Just look at that whole herd of springboks kind of laying down underneath the trees. And those springboks are fully grown. That's as big as they're going to get. Only about 3 feet tall. And that small size does often make them targets for predators, but they do have a pretty cool way of trying to escape predators when they need to. When those little guys get scared, they can spring 6 feet straight up into the air. It is a good way to get away from things that are after them, and that's how they get their name. Good look at a zebra right there. Now, if you've ever wondered if a zebra is black with white stripes or white with black stripes, I can tell you how you find out. The noses and the hooves of that zebra back there were both black. This means that it is black with white stripes, as most species of zebra are. Here's an African wild dog. You're kind of underneath that little bush there. How you know? And the African wild dog is also known as the painted dog, because it's the kind of finger paint looking color pattern that they have on their coat. And that pattern is kind of like a fingerprint. No two will ever have the same. of the antelope species. An adult male can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. And one thing that makes an eland's size so much more impressive is that they are great jumpers. With a running start, an eland can do a 16-foot leaping jump. It is very impressive to see an animal that big jump that far. Not only are the springbok great jumpers, but they're also extremely fast. The third fastest animal in the world on land, in fact. They can run at speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. So not very many animals out here can keep up with the springbok once they get to full speed. Actually, only one can. A cheetah is the only animal that can keep up with the springbok. With the massive horns. Now the horns of those cattle look like they would be extremely heavy. There's actually a honeycomb structure that goes all throughout the inside of that horn, making it much lighter for them, because it is kind of hollow. And coming up on the left, there is a tower of giraffe. It's more common to see younger giraffe lay down, but it's extremely rare to see an adult do that. They will even sleep standing up. But a giraffe doesn't sleep very much anyway. Only about 30 minutes a day. And that's not all at the same time. They'll take 2 and 3 minute naps throughout the day and pretty much eat for the entire rest of it. We are approaching Monkey Point. You can kind of see that red and blue coloring on their face. When they get excited or angry, those colors will get brighter, letting the other mandrills know how they're feeling. And off to the right, going up that canyon, there are a couple elephants up here. In that herd. It's a fairly small herd. More than likely, those are males. When a male elephant reaches maturity, around the age of 14 or so, the females are going to kick them out of the herd. Flapping their ears. They do that to help cool themselves off. When they flap their ears, the wind will blow across the blood vessels in the back of the ear, and that can bring their body temperature down by as much as 15 degrees. Got a bit of a sparring match going on there to the left. It may not necessarily be a sign of aggression between the two elephants. Younger elephants will do that as kind of play. Kind of like the toddlers are wrestling. Only difference is these toddlers are weigh 2 tons and have sharp tusks. It's essentially the same thing. They found out that elephants are afraid of bees. So the farmers surrounded the farm with beehives. That did keep the elephants away. It keeps the farmers' crops safe and they can sell the honey, so it's a bit of a win-win for the farmers. And most importantly, the elephants are kept away in a safe manner that doesn't hurt them. And on the island here to the left, you'll see a few greater flamingos. And you may notice that a few of those flamingos out there are gray. Those are younger ones. A flamingo won't start to grow their pink feathers until they get up to around 1.5 years old. Now, these are white rhinos. If you're wondering why they're called a white rhino when they're not actually white, it's because their name does not come from their color. The name comes from the mispronunciation of the old Afrikaans word, white. And that means wide. That describes the wide mouth that these rhinos have. And that is the easiest way that you can tell them apart from the black rhino, like the one we saw back in the forest, which has a more triangular pointed lip. These are also a little bit larger than the black rhino as well. If you watch their ears, you'll see they kind of spin around like little satellite dishes. That is because they have terrible vision. Rhinos can only see about 10 feet in front of them. So to make up for that terrible vision, they have excellent hearing. And they'll spin the ears around so they can keep an ear out for things around them. They may not be able to see. Oh boy. are the fastest animals in the world on land. They can run at speeds of up to 65 to 70 miles per hour, but they can't hold that speed very long, just a couple hundred yards or so. So they are more of a sprinter. And cheetahs are also the only members of the big cat family in Africa that will exclusively hunt in the daytime. They will not hunt at night. Lions and leopards will pretty much hunt whenever. Daytime, nighttime, wherever there's food. Now these rock formations we can see there on the left, those are known as copies. You can often find predators hanging out around copies as they use them as a lookout. They can climb up on top of them, so they'll keep an eye out for things that may be potential dangers, as well as potential food. Head around so we can see anything on the back side of the rocks here. There are some bonsai buck and a water buck off to the right there, but we're going to go into that clearing, so we'll see those animals again in just a second. First, if there's anything hiding around these rocks. I don't see anything. We'll head around the corner here and check out this bonsai buck in just a second. Big brown things long enough, they'll get food. So they'll stop these trucks intentionally. That is more of a giraffe thing though. One giraffe in particular. It looks like things are rolling again. We'll come around. They kind of look like they're bouncing. I think you saw the one that ran down the hill a moment ago. Up here we should be able to see the bonsai bucks and the water bucks that we saw a moment ago. You see the ostriches off to the left. Oh, and there's a nest of ostriches in the ground right there too. As you can see, those eggs are very large. That's because they belong to a very large bird. The world's largest, in fact. An ostrich can stand between 7 and 9 feet tall. They're also incredibly fast. Ostriches can run 45 miles per hour, and they can hold that speed for 30 minutes straight. So fortunately, they cannot fly. It'd be terrifying if they could. Almost scary enough by themselves on the ground. Well, we are entering into this is a newer. Looking around, I don't see any animals right now. So either nothing has moved in yet, or something's doing a very good job at hiding from us. Check out the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. There you can find animals like meerkats, hippos, naked mole rats, and of course, gorillas.
My favorite way to exit Animal Kingdom. Wah, wah, wah.